We're about to begin, so everyone can grab their seats. Good morning, everyone. Are we ready to take our seats? Hi. My name is Cori Peña. I am the president and CEO of the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation. And on behalf of BCIC, UTRGV, and RGV Startup, we are so proud to bring together leaders shaping what's next for our region. This week is about momentum. People choosing to invest here, build here, and believe in what Brownsville can become. We often think of economic development as jobs and infrastructure. But just as important is our culture here. So we often think that we need to do other things. We need to be, creating those jobs. But I have two individuals here that are going to be up here with me today, talking about what they're building here for our Brownsville. And they have roots here in Texas, in Brownsville. So it's my pleasure to welcome these two esteemed guests. RJ Mitte is an actor, producer, and advocate best known for his role of Breaking Bad, and today serves as the president of the Mitte Foundation, helping lead the vision behind the transformative Mitte Cultural District here in Brownsville. And joining him is Jason Wolfe. Jason Wolfe is South Texas entrepreneur and founder of Livio, close? Okay. Music Hall, a premier live music venue set to open here in Brownsville, bringing a new level of cultural experience and live entertainment into the Valley and into Brownsville. So please join me in welcoming RJ and Jason. Anywhere you.
Thank you. It's been always a pleasure. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Are they on?
Yeah.
All right. Again, applause.
Isn't
Isn't it awesome? It's a great honor to have both of you up here on stage with me. I mean, you both have deep ties to Brownsville. So I wanted to start off with both of you asking a question of, coming from family with deep connection here in Brownsville, what does legacy mean to you?
You go.
Rock, paper, scissors. No, legacy is. I believe legacy is a very important aspect to have in life. I think everyone has a legacy. We all have a family and family history, and even for those that most of my family is past, but that that's where the legacy comes in, I guess. I believe legacy is something that we strive to maintain. It's something that we strive to grow, and a legacy that can live on past what we are. To have a healthy legacy, to have a strong legacy, to be able to leave something for future generations. I believe legacy is not just about the individual that's the namesake or that person. It's about the lives that they touch. Having a legacy isn't just for that person. It's for everyone around them. And to be able to have a legacy is even harder because notoriety comes with so many aspects of life, and we're always harder on ourselves than someone else. And I think being able to grow and show each other and provide opportunities with a proper legacy. It's not just a namesake. It's not just a number. It's helping others.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So my family's been here for about 200 years in South Texas. So kind of living with that history, legacy has always just been a part of what I grow up with, and recognizing that history. And for our businesses, I think it makes us think in a long-term view instead of just short-term. Especially when we're talking about Brownsville and economic development and all that kind of stuff. And so we're thinking in generations instead of kind of a short-term thing. Like RJ said, it's, with legacy, it adds responsibility. There's a little bit of pressure there, but it adds responsibility because the community has given us so much for so many years, And so I think for both RJ and I, it's kind of our responsibility to give back to that community that has given so much to us, which I think is why we're both working on projects here in Brownsville.
Yeah, it really is.
And Brownsville's legacy, guys, the most beautiful history and culture, and in my opinion, in the country and in the world, really.
Speaking of that, I mean, you are, global. I mean, you do things worldwide.
Both are, technically.
Both, yeah. I mean, your career has taken you from Hollywood all over. But what draws you back to Brownsville? And what makes you want to invest in Brownsville with a multicultural district?
I'm very lucky that I've been able to travel the world. I work with many different organizations globally. And for me, I've been coming to Brownsville. I've been coming to the Valley my whole life. So my grandfather's from southmost. Yeah, allegedly it gets southerner, other side of the tracks, But it's all right. I would come down with him and my grandmother, and they instilled this love for the Valley in me, and there was something that I just always felt when I was here, even as a child. And I remember starting this Brownsville initiative with my grandparents' foundation in 2013, 2014. We were still based in Austin, Texas. That's where our office is, but our heart is here in Brownsville. And Brownsville has always been a mecca. Like even before now, even you go back 200 years ago, Brownsville has always been a pivotal piece that shaped this nation's landscape and the communities and the cultural and the strength of that community. And I've always wanted to be able to continue what my grandparents started, to continue their impact here in Texas and to provide opportunities and resources for people that truly need it. And back in every 10 years, there was the brain drains, right? There was always this big stigma about Brownsville, and it's like, well, if you want to make something, you have to leave. And that was something that we wanted to change. We were like, no, you don't. If you want to make something, you can make it here. You don't have to go to an LA or a New York or a London. And the thing is I go to many places all around the world, and I work with a lot of local organizations. And it really, you don't need to go to these major places. If you have the heart, if you have a belief, if you have something that you're wanting to achieve, you know, it used to be, yes, you would have to go because we didn't have media. We didn't have this connectivity, this global structure. But now we do, and it's so important that if you have a dream and you're here in the Valley, follow that dream. If there's something that you want to create, you can create it. You don't have to leave. You don't have to go wherever. You can create it in your backyard with your friends and your family. And that's something that it takes time to show. And we hope to continue to show that if you're here in the Valley, you can make it here in the Valley.
I totally agree with that, because that statement is proof of what we're building here and what we're doing today and throughout this whole week. What this building stands for is that you do not need to leave the Valley to get the resources or get the support or get the networking that we are providing. We have it here. We have the talent. We have the momentum going.
There's no shortage of talent here in the Valley.
There isn't. We have the best talent. We have the best people.
Best food.
Jason, your concert hall. You know, it's going to be live music. It's going to be culture. You know, what made you believe Brownsville's is ready to do something like that?
Well, I mean, I truly believe that it wasn't just that Brownsville's ready, it's that it's long overdue. You know, if you look at like the fundamentals of Brownsville, it's we have everything. Like you said, we have the talent. We have a young, growing population. We have a strong Latino culture here that's deeply connected to music. And so for me, it was identifying why we don't have something like it here. And it comes down to just the infrastructure. And so is Brownsville ready for it? Absolutely. Long overdue. And I think that by kind of harnessing that infrastructure, building the infrastructure to kind of create this platform for the arts, for music, for live music, for the community, you know, what we're creating is something that's meant to last a long time. And so it's more than just the quick win or the trend of what maybe live music is now, and harnessing, you know, the community of Brownsville to be able to support something like this.
Was there a defining moment when you said, you know what, I'm ready to do this?
Yeah. Yes, there was. So I went to school in Chicago, graduated with a degree in music business, worked in the live concert industry for some years, worked on some of the biggest projects, like for Beyonce and Paul McCartney, and it's all great and fun. But I was always missing that tie to home, and I found myself that when I was living in Chicago and in LA, I was always thinking about what I can be doing here. Yeah. And so when I moved back, 12 years ago or whatever it was, I saw this opportunity in an old movie theater, and the movie theater had been shut down since 1996 or something like that. Opened up in the 70s. And I just had a vision, having been to concerts around the country and kind of working in the concert industry, realized a real opportunity for it and a vision. And then with that vision, it came the responsibility of, like anyone with a small startup or with small business, you have the option to either let it go, you know, on the wayside and not take that responsibility on to start it, or you move forward. And so it was a defining moment in just needing to move forward, needing to bring this to the community, and taking that action on, you know.
Leap of faith.
Yeah, massive leap of faith. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially something that hadn't really existed in the market before.
No.
having worked in the industry in LA and in Chicago, I used to work for an agency where we would route tours across the country, and it always bummed me out that the most south that we would ever book tours was San Antonio, and it was almost as if the market wasn't being taken seriously down here. And so it's that leap of faith of hopefully the industry is going to take us seriously, but it's undeniable, right? The amount of people that live in the valley, the amount of people that live in Brownsville, the influx of young professionals that are moving here, and so with that harnessing of culture and creating that platform, it really does make the industry take us seriously. And so that leap of faith becomes easier to take, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. RJ, Multicultural is a place, but also it's a vision too. I mean, it's, like you said, in the past, over 10, 15 years, it's become something, it's migrated to something larger. And I just wanted to ask you, with what your causes are, the accessibility, how does that community space create long-term impact for you from the MIDI?
Oh, I don't know about specifically with the MIDI, the new Arts and Cultural Hub.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful that my grandparents had such foresight. And, it wasn't just us; it was many people coming together as a community to make the MIDI Cultural District happen. It started with the Children's Museum and the Dean Porter Park renovation, and it just kept continuing to grow and into all these amazing organizations and nonprofits that even extend to here in the downtown area. And I think, like you're saying, that it's overdue. There's so many amazing facilities here in Brownsville that just don't get their just desserts, they're just due. And so how do we one thing I've always looked at working here, how do we create a strong foundation as a platform for people? How do we create infrastructure in a way that isn't going to cost excess amounts of funds, but be able to get back into these nonprofits, provide these resources and tools, and to highlight the history and the culture, as well as be entertaining and fun and engaging. And for me, it's what I work on and what I do, it's not just for me, it's for everyone around me. It's for everyone to grow with and to grow and to have that platform to show their art and to show what they're capable of. And I think with the Arts and Cultural Hub that we're in production on right now over by the Glassport Zoo, I think for me it's creating that facility where people have a place to congregate, where they can bring their art and be that hub. And as eBridge is, I think eBridge is a great example of people coming together and creating businesses and startups and a new way of thinking. And I think the Multicultural District has needed something like that for a long time. And luckily, sadly, but luckily, something came up where that was possible to be able to create and to be able to harness all these amazing organizations within the cultural district. It's truly remarkable what we have here, but it takes all of us working together and communicating and being in the same room.
That's one thing I love about Brownsville. We're all about community. We're a population almost 200,000, but we think ourselves as a small town because we support one another. We're strong family ties.
And we say Brownsville has 200,000. Matamoros has 3.5 million people in the Matamoros area, and I go back and forth all the time, and we have such an amazing binational community that we're definitely bigger than 200.
Yeah.
But this is a major city. This is not a small town, but we have small town values and we have small town beliefs. And sometimes it's treated as a small town, but Brownsville is the future. Brownsville has always been the future in my eyes. I've been saying this since I came here and started working here over 15 years ago, that Brownsville is the future. We are the future here.
Yeah, we are. Okay, I'm gonna ask you both this question is, what you're both building, what has it been harder than expected? What is building it has been like you didn't think that it didn't exist. What's been hard about it? Making challenges. What are your challenges?
Yeah, I mean, at least for me, I think something I experienced with the La Viva Music Hall, it's what we're creating. Music has always been here. Live music has always been here. The community has always been connected to that. So there's no reinventing the wheel with that. What La Viva Music Hall is doing is we're creating a really premier platform for live music. And so for us, it was, obviously it's the leap of faith. If there's not something like it in the market, what we've experienced is that there's a lot of education needed. And so, but we're building relationships with the community. We're building relationships with artists and agents in the industry. We're building, and we're teaching our partners who might not understand the concept fully yet until they see the first show what it is. So there's a component of education, obviously, but also what we see an opportunity as well, right? There's the opportunity to set standards and blend local culture with global standards of the industry, and so though some may see it as challenges, being the first in the market or creating something new, I certainly see it as an opportunity. I've always seen it as an opportunity because you can, if you go to LA or you go to Austin or you go wherever, you can be another fish in the pond building a concert venue. But being in my hometown where we're creating this opportunity, then the unknown is just a part of the ride that you just have to get through. And we're happy to educate people about what we want to do, right? Because again, people love live music, and it's just a part of our culture already. And so to say, hey, we want to give a great stage, a great platform to not only local talent, which we have, a lot of, never-ending talent here, and then also give a platform where national acts can also come down and expose our local culture to what national or global music looks like, And so,
how do people find you, and where's the location?
Sure. Yeah. Great. Thanks for helping me plug it. So we're located at the Sable Market Center. There's a big renovation happening there. It's obviously on the highway, on the main highway. And so what used to, I guess some people would have gone to the old movie theater here before. Maybe not some young people, but I went.
I did.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's an old movie theater tucked in the back of that shopping center. And what's really great about that shopping center, what really became a great opportunity was that shopping center is being redeveloped. And so there's new restaurants coming in, new retail stores, all local. And it's a really great stage for the venue itself,
That's one thing I'm going to plug his shopping center again in Sable Market, is we've always encouraged, it's a great place to start your business.
Absolutely. Yeah, Sable Market Center is kind of a really special place because there was a decision to create a space where local mom and pop shops can go. Most of the spaces at that time were like 600 square feet. So it was a really great kind of launching pad for most of the tenants there were at the farmer's market at one point and then kind of graduated to a mom and pop shop. And so what that created was a really great local community of businesses. and then with that, it kind of really took off, and has gained a lot more attention, and more restaurants coming in, and so I think there's 6 restaurants that are going to be coming in that are local from the area, so they're experienced operators, but nonetheless, really great options, different options, and so Sable Market Center was really perfect. It also had plenty of parking, and so that's important, right? When you have a concert venue of 1,000 people, parking is really important.
Yes.
And so, you know.
It is.
And that's also the idea, is right, to create this, or that was the idea from the get-go, was with the concert venue, having it in a place where the experience feels seamless and intentional. So whether it's finding parking, maybe going to a restaurant before a show. Options, yeah, just some different options, and then intentional once you walk in as well, right? Sound, lighting, food and beverage service. Again, like I said before,
Sound and lighting guys
Yeah.
here.
yeah,
Well, I can tell you, my daughter, who's about to turn 17, and she's been, if you have teenagers, you know, where do they hang out? And
Yeah.
the mall, you know, and they want other experiences like they get in other cities. And so Sable Market is another experience. You know, you
Absolutely.
can bounce from Nerve Coffee to getting your bagels at Willie's. I mean, and then tacos.
do shopping,
and then you can go shopping.
tacos,
Yeah.
yeah, hot yoga, everything. Get a tattoo if you want. Like we really, yeah, the idea behind Sable Market Center was that you can spend all day there.
Yeah.
And it's really, now, especially with the concert venue too, right? You can literally get a coffee in the
Yeah.
morning and go to concert at night.
And you can soon
So-
bike or walk there because we are going to connect the historic battlefield trail to
Yes.
the market.
Yeah, we were able to get shopping center worked. Obviously, Origo Works has been great partners of Sable Market Center, and worked with the city to be able to create a private-public partnership where we can bring in that bike trail into Sable Market Center, and so you know that just opens the possibility of access, the ease of access to the shopping center, to the concert venue, and beyond. You know, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's a lot of work.
Your question, how's it
Yeah.
been, what has been hard about for you in building your vision at MIDI? And, you know, what would you need or advise to make, you know, for changes for people like yourself or Jason who want to build the next big thing? What advice would you give them?
So my situation's a little more complicated because we don't get to make all the decisions. We have to work with all the groups individually. The MIDI, the Arts and Cultural Hub, which we're in development on right now, we're the backer, but it's the MIDI Cultural Districts. Everything that we've done here and everything that we do here, even the parks that we've built and we technically own, they're not ours. They're for everyone. They're for you. They're for the community. You know, I think the hardest part that I faced is wanting to do things, and what I wanted to achieve in 2 years took me 10. And I'm grateful for that in its own special way, because we were able to listen. I believe it takes 4 years to learn true needs of any field that you're working in. And so in working with the cultural district and the Buena Vida neighborhood, you know, where we built Buena Vida Park with the La Familia art sculptures. You know, originally, this was before COVID, they wanted to put a building there. And like a 3-story thing, and similar to what we have here today. And in hindsight, at the time it made sense. And then COVID really shifted what we were building and what we were trying to create. And the Buena Vida Park was made, and learning on how to bridge the gaps of the community and how to make people feel welcome and warm and safe to go out at night and to be able to be welcome into a community. And I recommend if you're looking for stuff to do, if you're not checking out his spot, Camille Playhouse always has amazing shows. Has anyone taken the zip line yet at the zoo? Oh, I got one. I got two. I'll be three. I highly recommend the zip line. Is amazing. It'll change your perspective of how you see downtown because it's all encompassing. Yeah. And I swear on a clear day you can see to the island and the rocket and everything. And you know, I think for me as working as more of a philanthropic nature versus a business model, it's taking time. It's patience. You know, we find in life we always hit roadblocks, but when you're trying to change lives, not just for yourself but for others, the roadblocks are a little more robust in a sense because it's not just going to impact you, it's going to impact others. And any project I do, I want to make sure that it is going to have a legacy. It is going to have longevity, and not just a legacy to what I have, but its own legacy in a field where people can use it and grow from it. I mean, look how many amazing actors come from the Camille and go off and work. And there's some gentleman who's working in Broadway back and forth between here and there, and creating these avenues for people that wouldn't exist before. And again, for me, I think it's the time it takes to identify, to come up with an idea that's you know, bulletproof and that, you know, that just makes sense in a way where it continues on throughout, regardless if I'm here or whoever's here, that it will continue to help others. And that's something that time takes time. But we all have a lot of time, and not right now because we're about to leave, but you have lots of time, and don't feel rushed. Take your time. Do what you need to do to make your dreams come true, and that's what truly matters.
I think time means intentional.
Yeah.
That's what's important, is being intentional what you're doing, and that does take time.
Absolutely.
So tell us about Mitte in action.
Mitte in Motion.
Mitte in Motion.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Mitte in Motion.
No, so we have this event. It's the first and second. So coming up very soon this weekend, Mitte in Motion. It's a dynamic arts festival. This is the 4th annual of it. We bring artists from all across the world that are working professionals like ourselves here, that have made a career and continue at our careers. And you know, I think people get very confused on what a working artist is, and in a sense of what keeps it going, and how they continue to stay working as a performer. And so we bring artists from a little bit everywhere that have been working 20, 30 years in the entertainment industry, and to come talk and to have a class and kind of talk about their profession and what keeps them in their profession, and answer questions. You know, how do we get more exposure to the Valley? How do we provide more insight and tools for people? And this event came up that way. We're working with First Friday and many different organizations throughout the cultural district to bring awareness. It's a free event. So check it out through the Mitte Cultural District .org or Instagram. But you know, it's what can we do to inspire? I think inspiration is one of those things that, you know, it gets thrown around in a very like, you need to be inspired to make your dreams come true. But like in the darkest days, like when you are like, I just can't anymore, you know? Like, cause I think we've all been there where in life where it's like, this isn't working for me, or I'm hitting these roadblocks and we've been doing this for so long.
Done.
You're done. You're done. And then like in that same moment, inspiration comes and you're like, wait, I'm renewed.
Yeah.
And especially as entrepreneurs and startups,
Yeah.
you know, you hit those walls, and I think it's so important to find those little glimpses of inspiration, because it's in the detail. It's not always the whole picture, but it's in those one moments where you get that second win or fifth win, and I think we have a great list of people that are coming from comics to actors to producers to writers and painters and not just from around the world, but even here locally as well, that are working professionals and setting positive examples. You know, there's not, I think we focus on the negative too much, and media focuses on this a lot of negative connotations. But if we continue to focus on and not just focus, but hear positively, we think positively. You know, it's one of those things where whatever you put out in the world, you usually get back, or the opposite. But, you know, always maintaining a positive growth. And I think we have a great group of people that do that and that work every day. And, you know, we work with and partner with all the organizations throughout the cultural district to make it happen. And, you know, you get to pick who you want to hear from. We don't tell you where to go. If you want to hear from this person, you can. If you want to learn more about acting or singing or painting, you get to pick it. And it's kind of really, what are you most inspired for? And hopefully you're inspired from it.
Thank you. What should we expect when you open your doors?
Wow.
And when are you going to open your doors?
Yeah, so we're in full construction mode. What RJ was mentioning about inspiration, with entrepreneurship or with construction, the inspiration is a fleeting moment sometimes. And so anyway, so we're in construction, we're doing great.
We're doing
it. You just have to keep your head down.
Should I ask you in 6 months how you're doing?
No, we'll definitely be open in 6 months. But no, anyways, so we're in full construction mode. We're doing great. We don't have a specific opening date, but in the next few months, you know, by the end of the year, we'll be open, absolutely. And so, what to expect from LaVivo? Like I said before, an intentional experience, right? We want people to be able to go in and have a really great premiere experience seeing a concert, whether that's a local act or whether that's a national act. What's really great about the space is that we do have a stage that in a space that holds about 200 people, and then we have the main stage that holds about 1,000. And so we'll be able to do different types of shows with different types of capacities. So local all the way to national and global shows. And what we always want is that people will, you know, the fans of the artists and the people that see those shows, that they leave saying, I wasn't expecting that in Brownsville.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and I think with that, they'll come back, right? Because it's about setting the intention of creating a really great experience with global standards, like I had said before, but also it's going to be great. You know, we're going to have a lot of fun, so it's going to be great for the city, I think.
I think that's what we're all craving for, is experiences, and you're both are bringing those
Absolutely, yeah.
experiences to us. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
I always like to ask the question of, since we have the audience, is as a community, what can we do to you? How can we support you both?
Go to the museums.
Yeah, exactly.
Go watch plays at Camille. Go to the venue.
It's all about support. It's about showing up. What I think what we're both doing that's really great is that beforehand, to have any experiences in film or art or music, you always had to leave. So getting to do that here is something that it makes supporting a lot easier.
Well, and,
you know.
and we were just talking, if you are interested in getting into the film and television industry, talk to the Brownsville Border Film Commission. They're right next door here in downtown Brownsville, if you're watching. They're an amazing organization. They're fresh. They're pretty freshly started and established now, and I think that's a great step if you are interested in a career in film and television, or if you have a property you would like to lease to a film and television.
Yeah, we were talking about that as well with locations. I mean, especially for film, locations is a number one thing. I can't stand, personally, seeing shows in Netflix and on the big screen of the valley, and then there's mountains, and so it's obvious that it was shot in California. So, you know, as property owners, as residents of Brownsville, we always need to be able to flag, hey, this is a really great spot to shoot a film, and giving those up for art and for film.
I think it's crazy when I'm like on like TikTok or whatever, and it's like it's in the RGV, and I'm like, that's in Germany. Like that is not even in the. That's somewhere far away. They're like, yo, it's right down the street. I'm like, look, I've been all over the valley my whole life. I drive from California at least like 5 times a year. I go to Austin and Houston. I'm driving. I've never seen that in Rio Hondo.
Where's that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's about support. I think just another note to make about what can the community do. Because I think it's important because we're, you know, in downtown, we're close to city government. It's making sure that city government and the community realize that culture isn't a side project to economic development, right? It's a core driver of economic development. And because obviously we're with RGV Startup, and we're talking about business as well, and how to be able to support these organizations and businesses.
The culture brings our talent.
Culture
Absolutely.
is key.
Absolutely. I was thinking about it yesterday with what's the difference, you know, between culture and jobs and economic growth down here. And I always thought that as we bring, or as we attract global companies and global firms that are coming into the valley, jobs is what brings people here, but culture is what makes them stay.
Yeah.
Right? Culture is what makes someone move to Brownsville and create a life here, because there's culture, because there's experiences, because there's the arts. And so I think that's really important for the community to recognize, and city governments to recognize. And obviously then that flows into making sure that businesses and organizations can be started, and that those processes are streamlined and efficient. Because as RJ said, they take a long time.
Yeah.
Le Vivo itself has taken over 8 years to create. And so, so it's about those two things, with community and government. Yeah. Yeah, it starts with you. Yeah, exactly.
It starts with you.
Yeah. So one sentence. What's your vision for Brownsville in the next 10 years? Each of you.
Oh my gosh.
One sentence or one word?
Whatever you feel is the strongest. To me, mine would be opportunity. If I would do one word, opportunity. But you can't take it. I said it.
No,
first.
you did say it. You did say it. I was thinking it, but prosperity. I think Brownsville. Brownsville has always been a very prosperous town. And I don't just mean that in a financial standpoint. I mean that as a cultural standpoint, as a community standpoint. It's very grounded in community, and I think in the next 10 years, I have a very hopeful future. My opinion, Brownsville is the future. It will always be the future.
Absolutely.
Regardless of what happens or what has happened in the last 200 years of its history. It's a staple of our nation. It's a staple of our country, and it's a staple of humanity, of coming together with culture and community and being able to be that beacon. There is no other place like it in the world, and I'm so grateful that I have family here, and I've been a part of this amazing community for quite some time and have many friends here, and it's my home.
Yeah, amazing.
What's your
What's
one
my
word
one
or
word?
one sentence for your vision?
For the vision, I mean, all those words, you know, kind of are.
You can steal mine if you would like.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
well, no, growth, abundance.
that's a
Sorry,
good
these
word.
are multiple words.
But that's a good word, abundance.
But I find that they're all tied together, right? We're so lucky that we're in a place that our words are not, I don't know, passed through or stale, or you know what I mean. That there's a lot of growth, that there's a lot of color for the future, for the vision of the valley, right? And I think it's important to note that what we, at least, I know it's RJ as well. It's not about bringing outside culture in, even though we invite national acts, even though we invite people that are in the industry on the outside.
You're uplifting it.
It's uplifting, it's elevating, it's amplifying culture, it's amplifying the culture that's already here. And that's the exposure, because that's why we're here, is because of the rich culture and arts that exist here in Brownsville already. So.
Only one like it here, I believe. Our culture is the only one like it anywhere else.
100%.
And the way we celebrate it, I love it
100%.
as we come together as a community. And what you both are doing, you both are checking off those boxes for us as a community of those experiences, of things that we want.
Yeah.
And you're bringing that to Brownsville and bringing it to life. So on behalf of the community, I thank you for your dedication. And, you know, you guys could invest anywhere. You guys could have gone somewhere else. But you, because of the legacy, you know, you're bringing it back home. And I really appreciate that. That says a lot.
Thank you. I mean, it's worth investing in. You know, it's not. Yeah, it's not about. Like I said before, it's about giving back to the community that has given us so much.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that our families, having been here for so long, every generation was thinking in that sort of way. And I think for our community as well, it's a really positive thing for each and every community member to embrace, right? It's not about having a family that's been here for 200 years. It's about, you live here now, give back to the community that is giving to you,
Yeah.
you know?
You're doing the long game.
There you go, yeah, exactly.
So I wanted to thank you both for joining us,
Thank you so
taking
much.
time out of
Thank
your
you
busy
all.
schedule
Thank you.
to be here, be part of, you know, what we're doing here in celebration of not just our entrepreneurs and innovators, but of our community. So thank you for being a part of this.
What
It
a
was
pleasure.
a great conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Can we also do a big round of applause to this amazing moderator, Cori Peña? Ay, más fuerte, no se escuchó. Now we're just gonna take a quick group picture. 1, 2, 3, smile.